What's going on, my friends? It's Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. And this morning, I have the honor and the privilege to interview one of our successful male marketers in the community, for Christmas sakes. With all these ladies, he's doing the happy dance. Please help me welcome Sean Sarantos. What's up, brother?
How's it going, Dave? Good to see you again.
Hey, man, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Hold on, let me get my audio fixed here. Dude, how does it feel to be one of the lone males out here getting it done?
I mean, well, it feels great. The funny thing is, everything that I've ever done, I've always had a more female, stronger presence on the demographic. So I don't know what it is. Like, I can get a tattoos until I'm tattooed all in the face, and I'll still, for some reason, get more demographic with the ladies. Now, nothing wrong. My wife hates it, but I'm all right with it.
Well, I mean, hey, it's not easy being a stud like you, man.
Oh, the shirts get tighter.
The shirts get tighter. I know, man. I'm going to try to get in shape before the event, the event's coming up here in a couple of months. You're going to be rocking the stage, and I'm going to try to pump a little iron. But that's what I like to do, like last minute, kind of throw it together the last 45 to 60 days before the event, go and hit the gym hard and really watch the diet and then just kind of screw off the rest of the time. But you were in health and wellness. You were a personal trainer, and now you are in the internet marketing and make money online niche. For those who don't know your story, give us the nutshell version of how you started and kind of what you were looking for in this whole process.
Oh, man. So I've done a little bit of everything. I was in the military, did physical therapy, and then when I got out, I started my own fitness business. And then
you were in the military as well. Thanks for your service in that respect.
Thank you.
Brother.
I appreciate that. And then I transitioned out of that and went into the fitness world because I got some sponsorships and thought like, oh, this is my path. And I got really burnt out with that. So I hung up the boots on that one and then went into blue collar work. So I did electrical line work for 4 years, and it was great until you have a family. It's one of those things where it's kind of like the military. It's one of the perfect situations when you're early single and you don't know what you're doing in life, and then you find your way near the end. And the problem was I was old, joining it, having fun in the beginning, and then as I started having a family, it was, man, priorities. And obviously it was one of those things where I was kind of a meathead, traditional way of thinking where the man has to provide, and the way that he provides is like brute strength. And it was taken away from my family. So I had to tell myself like, all right, brute strength or, use something with my mental health. So I started looking for stuff to do on lunch because I was just tired of watching Netflix. And that's when I came across someone that was part of Legendary. And she was saying, man, I've told the story to you so many times. It's so funny, but I love telling it. She was saying all the things I wanted to hear, but it was like the worst presentation that I could see. And I was just like, ugh. But I had the worst day at work. So I was just like, fuck you guys, I'm listening to this. And then I just paid $7 and did a little bit more into it. And the things that clicked for me were the stuff in the 15-day challenge that light bulbs were setting off were the things that could have helped me in my fitness business from burning out. So I was just like, man, if I would have had that, or at least I would have known about that back then, maybe I would have never even done anything in between. So automatically I just like knew something was legitimate in what I was seeing, and I just had to like dive in. And once I dove in, I spent any possible minute that I could. I'm talking driving to and from work, man. Like 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there.
Right.
I did that for the first 2 months, where I was probably totaling like an hour every other day into this. But the quality of time that I was putting into it, I was really, really just diving deep into it. And I didn't make enough in my first 2 months to quit my job confidently. I made enough in my first 2 months to know that if I put more time into it, it was going to do more than my job. And there was a lot of personal issues that were happening that first 2 months where this thing just kept on like blowing up in the back of my mind. And it kind of just pushed it more and more, where I was trying to say, no, I'm in a safe position. I have this, I have that. And everything that was safe about that position was just like red flag warning me, being like, maybe it's not so safe, you know? So finally, like a moment came where I was just like, all right, fuck it. You know, we're done. We're done with this.
I think life would be like if you hadn't taken that risk and hadn't made that decision.
You know, I'm probably going to tell this story in Florida as well, but I remember like it was yesterday where I was in Florida. And do you remember when we spoke and sat down on the couch?
Mm-hmm.
And shoot, dude, there were probably like 4 times I've ever cried in my life. 4. All right. One, when my dad told me he loved me when I graduated from tech school, or from basic, which was, he never told me he loved me ever. So it was really weird to hear that. When my dog died. And then 2 times with you, you asshole. Like one time on the Wake Up Legendary where you asked me what my why was, right? And that was in the very first Wake Up Legendary I ever did. So I was still working my job, right? But it was just enough for me to like be on the cusp of really trying to figure out if I'm gonna get what I really want. Because it wasn't about the money. You know, I've told you and everyone about that all the time. For me, I just wanted 1 weekend a month with my kid because I was just losing out on so much. But when we talked on the couch, I was dead serious when I told you that you like saved my life, because I was headed towards everything that I thought I wanted in life. I was destroying with the path that I thought was the safest. And it was so mind-boggling to me because I tried everything before taking the safest path and it burnt me out. So I was almost at the end of my rope thinking, well, I'm in the safest route. I'm providing for my family and it's destroying my family. And on top of that too, in the field that I was in, you can't voice that. They don't want to hear it. Like they'll bitching and whining. You know what I mean? Like even if you just say, man, I just want to see my kid, fuck your kid. Like that's their mindset. And it's just like no one to talk to. So I honestly feel like if I were still in that position, either I would have wrapped my car around a tree, right? I would have been divorced. I would have lost custody, right? I would have been working simply to pay child support. I would not have been working to live a life anymore. And it blows my mind realizing that was the path that I was on, because when you're in it, you don't know.
Yeah.
And it's not until you actually have another door open that allows you to see how green the grass is on the other side that you don't even realize the shit that you're in. And I didn't know that. I would not have known that if I didn't find this. I would have just been like, work, divorce, work. I'll see him on his next birthday. And it's just, my mind would have shut off because that would have been my environment.
Yeah.
And I did not know how toxic that environment was until I found this.
And yeah, I mean, you also were in the military, right? And then you get out and you start a family, you have a job. So yeah, you're making all these decisions that are based on the advice that you've got or the things that you've heard or how people have told you this is a good decision or this is a good path. And it's still leaving you empty and broken. And that, I think, is the story for a lot of people in our country, but also probably around the world right now. So describe to us what life is like now. Like, just give us a look into what your kind of daily, besides the money that you've made, we'll set that aside just for a second, in the living that you're now creating with this full time. But what does your time freedom look like today compared to then?
So the funny thing is, I'm like super stay-at-home dad now. Before this month, it was I would wake up at 4:30, work out until 7, take a phone call at 7:30 for an hour, come home, spend time with the kids from the time they woke up till like 1:30 in the afternoon, and then take calls or do my content from 1:30 till 3:30. Then the rest of the time is my kids. Like that's it. 3 hours a day, 3 or 4 hours a day, every day, right? Now we're in Colorado, we bought a house and everything like that. And unfortunately, I haven't been doing this long enough to be part of the loan. So now my wife had to get a full-time job. So now I'm like all dad all day. So now I wake up at 5 till 7, and then I'm dad from like 7 till 6. And then I probably do like a phone call from 6 till 7, and then content in between. So because I started in a job that didn't give me a lot of time, I am a huge advocate for you can absolutely do this with a couple hours a day. It doesn't have to be a couple hour blocks. It could be 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here. But if you start learning what it is that you're trying to do, the message that you're trying to reach, everything like that, it is so, it can get frustrating. But at the end of the day, I don't ever overwhelm myself thinking that I'm doing something wrong. If I'm ever frustrated, it's my own fault. Like, I did something wrong. I didn't manage my time better. But right now, my day is like 99% what I want to do and 1% what I enjoy doing on the side. You know?
Well, and that's your income machine, right? I mean, you've really, because
Yeah.
you're forced into this situation, which is a beautiful thing, honestly, because it's really making you see how to be as efficient as possible. And your kids aren't going to be this age forever. It's kind of what my wife and I always tell ourselves about our little kids, is that they're not going to be this age forever. You know, it's like either pay now or pay later, right? So pay now with your time, pay in, invest, right? The quality time, whatever, you know, even if that's what your situation is, because you know, if we don't do that as parents now, and we're never around them, well, what happens? Then they have problems when they're older, when they're teenagers and stuff like that. So, okay, time to invest now. And then sometimes you can't put the genie back in the bottle, right? Because the kids are, as we talk about here in Legendary, that 0 to 7, you know, age range is like really important. So it's the most important part of a child's life. So what I hear you saying is now you're in this, you went from kind of one extreme to the other. You went from like working all the time to now it's like, man, it's like super, as you said, super stay at home dad. And you're finding how you can do this really in the little pockets of the time you have throughout the day. And I think that's a really important thing to point out, because even me, the majority of time, if my work is taking me a really long time, I am absolutely zoning out, daydreaming, scrolling, distracted, you know, like there's filler in there. It's not killer. It's all filler, no killer, right? So you're being forced, because you want to be a good dad and be there with your kids and not be like, you know, on the phone all day. I know that's a balance. I struggle with that too. But man, like, so what are you telling people, and what is your message today for people about being efficient and how they really can do more with less time? Like, I think you need to say that again, because I think a lot of people are, and that also that you can do that with a full-time job. Right?
Yeah. Well, I want to make it very clear though, right?
Yeah.
Even though I say 1% goes into creating content, that 99% is the results that I show. So let's do it in a different way. Instead of showing a yacht, I show time with my kid. Instead of showing a fancy car, I show us at the playground.
Right.
Another person's results, you know, are theirs. If they want to buy materialistic things, that's fine, right?
Yeah.
And then they show that lifestyle.
No,
If they
for
show
sure.
them getting off
I
the
get
helicopter,
what
right?
you're.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I get that.
yeah, the
And
99% is still me doing and showing my results. But the 1 or 2 hours a day that I have to do, I just have to say, all right, how do I show that this is the thing that I think most people would truly want? How do I do that message? And from there, it's just creating a piece of content and the right words, right? And you got to remember that free time at the gym or you know, when they're on naps or anything like that, it's not me unwinding being like, oh, finally. It's me always doing multiple things. So if I'm on the treadmill, I'm reading stuff, I'm looking at stuff, I'm listening to music, I'm looking at messages, I'm looking at people that do stuff family wise within the message that I like. Maybe I'm just looking at specific parents, tired dads, tired moms, and I'm looking at their content. And I'm saying, that's a really good piece of content. It emotionally gets me, but how can I relate that to what I want to talk about? And I always have to try to say, I'm always learning. It's not specifically about bringing content that brings eyes. I don't do content that tries to get as many eyes as possible. I do content that tries to get as much engagement as possible. Because at the end of the day, My strength is communication. My strength is not viewership. So how do I get people to want to talk to me? And the best way to get you to want to talk to me is to simply show you the things that I'm hoping or that I probably know you're missing out on.
Yeah.
And that's it. I don't care how I have to do it. You can hate me, you can love me, you can just be intrigued. As long as you give me a knock on the door, that's all I want. And that's all it takes. Because
Yeah.
then I can start a conversation.
Yeah, and that's really your
Yeah,
strategy, right? Is getting them
yeah.
into a conversation and actually having some back and forth, asking them. You talked about that at the last event, the power of the DMs, and
Hmm.
so just to kind of recap, what you're saying is that your focus is going deep with relationships, not particularly going wide. So there's not a massive emphasis, or you're not hanging on viewership or follower count as much
Hmm.
as maybe some other people are, because you understand the power of having 100 or 1,000 raving fans. Not, you don't need hundreds of thousands. The other thing that I hear you saying is that you're capturing content while throughout the day while you're with your kids, right?
Hmm.
You may capture a little selfie video that you're going to use later, or you may record just a quick little 30-second something while you're at the park and your kids over there playing,
Hmm.
or you might whatever capture something at the coffee shop. But again, you're capturing content throughout the day while you're spending time with your kids, which shows your lifestyle,
Hmm.
shows what you wanted when you were back then struggling, suffering, scrolling on your lunch break. And
Hmm.
then during those 1 to 2 hours that you really have that focused time, that's when you take that content that you've curated over the day, and you put it together and you put out your marketing messages. And that's when you post your videos and sort of get that big work, kind of put it all together for the day. Is that a
Hmm.
good recap of kind of
Yeah,
cool?
perfect.
I like that. And so when you get up, does that like kind of, and hopefully that answers the question for those of you who are like interested in a kind of a routine or a schedule that you have. Do you fit that 1 to 2 hours, or that kind of that focused work time? Did you say in the morning? Do you usually do it at the end of the day, like the morning for the previous day or the end of the day? Talk to us a little bit
Yeah.
more about what that actual routine looks like, because there's a lot of people saying, "Yeah, well, I'm a single dad of three. Yeah, I get this. I mean, I'm suffering and struggling to find time as well."
So I'll give you the three phases, right? I'll give you what my schedule looked like when I was actually doing a full-time job, what my
Perfect.
schedule looked like when I actually like was in the middle of everything. I had all the free time in the world, and what my schedule looked like now as a stay-at-home dad. When I did a full-time job, literally learning all the learning and education stuff, regardless if it was through the 15-day challenge, looking at people's content or blueprints, was done on the drive to work. Any content creation was done during a 10-minute break or an hour lunch if I got that. That was content creation. As many pieces of content that I can create from what I just learned from that morning or from the day before that I wasn't able to get to. All right. And then the end of the day was responses to messages, comments, or DMs if I had the time. Right. That was it. That
Mm.
was my schedule for the first 2 months. And if I got a weekend off, that's when I just went ham and just did as much content as possible. And I just threw shit at the wall. And I was like, if it works, it works. Even if I don't use it, it's in my batch, right? So that's how it was the first 2 months. Then when I had time to myself, it was my wife is here on maternity leave, so I want to help her out as much as possible. Okay, wake up super early to get my stuff done, take a phone call or messages or create a piece of content anytime before 7:30 in the morning. Then the rest of the day up until 1:30, wife time, kid time. Then from 1:30 till 3:30 was bedtime for the kids. So, okay, what can I do?
Nap
Content,
time,
messages,
parents. Nap
nap times.
time.
Oh man, nap times are the best time. And then after that, it was okay, kids are in bed. So spend a little bit of time with the wife. Then when she goes to bed, what else can I do? Can I create emails? Do I respond to emails? Do I do the analytics? I'm super huge on analytics. So I have to do analytics because I don't have a lot of time. So I have to be aware of what I'm doing and what results are coming from it. Super analytical, Dave. I cannot stress enough how much I'm writing stuff down, putting stuff in Excel. So now that I'm a stay-at-home dad, my wife is working. Okay, no free time. even nap time is like thrown off, right? So for me, it's, am I able to create a piece of content right now? Depends on the content. I just want to make sure that 3 to 4 hours don't pass in between pieces of content. I don't care what they are.
Hmm.
And
Now,
typically,
is that because you're absolutely going to post that, or is that because you want to stay fresh and you want
I
to just
want to
keep
stay
creating
consistent.
content? Consistent, yeah.
I just will always want to create at least 3 pieces of content no matter what. It's just one of those things where it becomes repetitive, then I don't have to complain to myself about it, right? But then on top of that too, if something pops off and I go, oh, I got a lot of leads on that one. Okay, well, what the hell did I post that day? You know? And the most free time that I have right now is from 6 at night till 8 at night. That's it. 2 hours. 2 hours. And a majority of that time is towards phone calls and or DMs, right? Because once again, I do not rely on the mass. I rely on the quality of my messaging as well to increase the quality of the lead. If I put more quality into what I'm giving, then I will get more quality in return. So I always tell people, I think of it like Club Legendary. I'm not there just to try to get everyone into the club. Anyone could afford the cover charge and then just sit there and drink some water cups. I have to make sure that the person's going to enjoy it, going to want the experience, going to want the hospitality and stuff like that. So everything that I do in the minimal amount of time that I have is always geared towards making sure that the person is absolutely trusting that my recommendation holds weight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that can be true for every product you're going to be an affiliate for. I mean,
absolutely, absolutely.
Principles that are super transferable. If you're selling something else in another niche or another industry for that has products that are multi-hundred or multi-thousand-dollar products, you can never pile on enough support. You can never pile on enough credibility. You can never pile on enough value, right? Value meaning that just adding additional, making it easy for them. I had this talk yesterday with our team in Legendary, because as we grow, the key to being successful, whether you're a single kind of solo affiliate marketer and you want to keep things simple and never really expand out of that, but you have a big audience, right? Or whether you are doing courses, coaching, or whatever, you have a company and a bunch of people working in it like we have at Legendary, communication and the clarity of that communication is super clear, and making it easy for people. So another way that you deliver value is if you're referring or connecting somebody to an affiliate product, well, how can I make this easier for them? How can I make it easier for them? That's one, if any of you are thinking, well, man, give me another idea to come at this as an affiliate. Well, if you're struggling coming up with value, you're struggling coming up with, the kind of courage to get on camera. And I want to get your take about what this experience has been like for you to just start creating content and get comfortable on the camera and stuff like that. But asking yourself, how can I make it easier for the person to both get the product and give the company money so I can get an affiliate commission, but also what can I do to make it easier in preparation or after they purchase to make it a more valuable experience, to maybe get this person trusting me next time I send an email for another recommendation. So I like that you touched on that, because it really is it's key. So say more about that if you want, but I also want to know what your experience has been like going from a blue collar worker and somebody who has also been, in the gym, whether you're training or working out, to then getting on camera. We're on camera right now. This process been like for you to actually go from interacting with people in real life to now interacting with people, but through a screen?
Well, and before I get to that, I also want to piggyback on the thing that you were saying about how can I make this easier. The one thing that I do notice is if you're asking yourself, how can I make it easier? The best thing that you can do is remember what was hard for you during the process. Too many people forget that all of a sudden when they get with Legendary, they just become an affiliate marketer. They, for some reason, forget that they were the lead, right? And now all of a sudden you're saying terminology that you think that they're going to know and they don't know. Just because you know it all of a sudden doesn't mean that they know it. So you have to remember, the best thing that you can do is put yourself back in their shoes and remember exactly what they felt, the skepticism, right? The fear, just being lost. Okay, so what made you get over that hump? And some people are going to be like, well, I just knew that I was better. No, stop. All right. Put yourself back in their shoes. What made you not fearful? And if it was an internal talk within yourself, great. Tell them that. Walk them through that. Because most of the time, I'll tell you, every conversation I have is an internal talk, an internal dialogue that has to be spoken out. And sometimes they just say it to themselves, but they create every excuse. And it just takes someone else saying the exact same thing back to them and be like, these are your words.
Yeah.
I'm not even arguing with you. You're arguing with yourself. I'm just the mirror. So if you don't know how to make it easier, ask yourself what you struggle with and what you would have liked in order to make it easier. Legendary can only do so much. Don't get me wrong. Legendary is giving you the training wheels and they're holding you by the back and they're pushing you forward, right? But I mean, at the end of the day, they can only do so much. And if you want to step away from the masses and make yourself stand out, what more can you do? Stop looking for other people to figure out your problems and start remembering the problems that you had and what you would have liked in order to figure them out, or what you did to figure them out.
Yeah.
All right.
This reminds me of there's a company that takes like watches and will remake them and like skeletonize them and like customize them, and usually they'll do this with Rolexes, and it's a real expensive service. It's a legitimate. It's kind of like Brabos, I think is how it's pronounced. How they do the G wagons. Have you ever seen how they soup up the G wagons? I think it's called Bravos. Well, it's sort of like an upgrade to an existing product, right? It takes and does something that the factory doesn't do. Like Rolexes have never come with a skeletonized dial, meaning that they don't show the gears inside. But that's a look that a lot of watch collectors like, is to see the skeleton inside of see the actual movement inside of the watch. And so again, this company does what the factory doesn't do. And people love that. And so to your point about if you're going to be an affiliate of a company, understand that the company may not do everything. The company may, and that may be on purpose. That may not be that the company's trying to. I mean, Rolex, they could easily make skeletonized dials.
Yeah.
Just like Mercedes could easily soup up their G wagons the same exact way that this Brabos company upgrades them. But the role that the affiliate can play in this experience, to your point, is providing an additional experience in an upgrade to what the factory or what comes stock with the product it doesn't come with. Dude, I love that point, man.
Yeah.
Like and that can be the difference. And that oftentimes is the difference when a customer is out there doing their research, and they're just a lot of times they will decide between an affiliate. It's like that's actually how affiliate marketing has not mostly always been done, but in a major respect. You see some of these big product launches and these affiliates giving away these bonus packages if you buy through their link, so they're even the customer knows that they're buying through an affiliate, and the customer, if they're going, like some of these, Tony Robbins just did a big launch with Dean Graziosi, and there's always product launches going on. And you can see these big marketers, offering these big bonus packages. That's exactly what you're talking about. And I love that point. And I think we undervalue that, we undervalue that as affiliates, the impact and the value that and also the trust that we create in order for them to buy the product. They may not even trust the product or the company, but they trusted you as an affiliate. Yeah. And that's such an important role. And I know that you take that seriously, and obviously you're talking about it. You know how important that is.
I think one of the biggest things that people lack is just simply self-reflection. I think that once they go from lead to affiliate marketer, once again, they close the door completely, and they have to realize everything that you create, everything that you say, post, whatever, write, email, read it to yourself. but don't read it as you. Read it as the person you're trying to talk to, or you're trying to relate to, and just simply ask yourself the goal that you have with that email. If the goal is to get an email address, cool. Read what you just wrote. Does that sound like you? Does it sound like that was something?
Would you take that if you were 3 months ago or
exactly?
Ago? And I think I think what another way to say this is that immediately and as soon as possible, if you go through and notice something, or you see another affiliate and you experience their process and you say there was something missing from that, if you want to promote that product, you can go back and do it better. You can go back and fill in all the missing pieces that you thought were missing in order to make the process or the experience everything that you would have wanted it to be. I love this, Sean, because it's so freaking practical.
Look, I get this so much. Even I said it in the beginning. I'm like, oh God, is it an oversaturated market? Is it oversaturated? Oversaturated, right? And I hear it all the time. And the one thing that I could tell you right now, the only thing that is oversaturated is the way that people are promoting or writing for something or creating a piece of product. The only thing that is oversaturated is that everyone is doing the exact same piece of content, or they're using the exact same words, or they're using the exact same template, right? And it's just like,
yeah.
So, okay, you know what? I bet this is what I tell people. I break it down in the simplest terms. Think of affiliate marketing like a video game, right? Affiliate marketing is simply recommending something, okay? Why are you jumping into hard mode? Hard mode is, well, I'm going to recommend something to a small group of people that they don't really want, but they want the results of, and it might cost them some money, but they don't really have money, but I'm going to jump right into that, and I don't even know what I'm doing. And I'm over here like, how about you recommend something that everyone wants first to everyone, and it doesn't cost them a thing? Can we do that first? And if you can do that, and you can get good with that, and you can get good engagement with people saying, oh, I didn't know if I, hold my head underwater for a long time, I die. I didn't know that. Thank you. Like, if you can't even get the simplest things that people all want to know about and get a thank you from that, what makes you think you're ready to tell a person, I can solve all the problems, in your life, and all it takes is that thing that you don't want to spend because you don't have, but like, sorry. Yeah. And you don't even know what you're doing yet, and you're jumping into the deep end. So the best thing that you can do is just self-reflect and look at what you created and ask yourself, would I do that? Would I want that? And if you don't, then do it again.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I think you make a great point about just focusing and really getting good at giving away free things on the internet. I think that's another way to say, instead of saying collecting email addresses or building your email list, right? Because we really are like, well, how do I build it? Okay, let's instead reframe it and say, give free things away. That's really what a landing page is.
Yeah.
Right? It's giving, and correct me if you're meaning something different, but this is how I'm hearing it, is that you're saying, hey, don't put the cart before the horse. If you're going out trying to pitch products right off the bat, the day, and specifically, I think this really applies to a lot of you who are asking, well, gosh, and this is people are always asking this. Well, what do I do for my first videos? What do I do for my first marketing content? Right. And everybody's always in a hurry to, for example, on TikTok, get that link in the bio and start selling stuff. And what you're saying is that's the cart. Don't put the cart before the horse, right? You need to, instead of worrying about selling stuff, let's just first start with learning how to give free stuff away and just simply in exchange for some email, and make that your focus.
How about, and look at it like this too, because when I hear you, or even when I hear myself talk about, well, give free stuff away, people are thinking like, put it in a bag, or what else can I give you? What else can I give you? What else can I give you? How about I just give you a fair warning? How about that? And that's something that I changed on my opt-in page. Was I looked at a lot of opt-in pages, and I kept on being like, oh, well, they're giving away a free ebook. Oh man, well, this ebook says that they'll teach you how to do it in 6 steps. Well, this one says 5 steps, and this one says 3 steps, and it gets better and better. And all of a sudden I walk on water. And it's like, okay, how about instead of pounding my chest up and saying I'm the best person ever, right? How about I just tell you what's out there and tell you why mine might be the best choice right now? So what I did was I simply looked up on Google, what is digital marketing? How many freaking results did you think I found? I found like over 2 billion results. All right. So the issue with a lot of people's opt-in pages, including mine in the beginning, was I created interest in wanting to know what a digital marketing was and affiliate marketing was, but I didn't create enough interest for them to want to give me their email because that requires a little bit of trust. So what I did was I created interest for them to leave my page and go look for the answer for somewhere that doesn't require an email. Fine, cool. I now know that that's what you're probably going to do. So I did it for you. So you can either get my book, and I'm not saying it's the best book in the world. I'm not. I don't have to. All I have to say is I worked really hard on this book to give you a clear and simplified answer. And if you don't want that now, I did the work for you. I Googled it for you. There's 2 billion answers out there. Good luck trying to find a clear and simple answer through 2 billion pieces of content. Or you can get it right now.
Yeah.
Right? So I give you the option to
Powerful
be like,
angle.
yeah, and I give you the option to say, because in their mind at the very end, are they really going to be like, well, I think I'm smart enough to get through 2 billion answers and find that one? Or, you know what? Or I'll just take this just in case. Just in case I get confused, at least I know I still have this. So I didn't have to tell you my book was the best thing ever. I just simply had to say, hey, it's not 2 billion answers, it's one. And I wrote it because of the road that I just told you not to take. It's like I take a picture down a dark alleyway and I show you that there's people with guns and knives. And I say, you might not want to walk down there. Okay, now you know what's waiting for you. So if you want to walk down there, fine. But I gave you a clear picture of what's to come. So you can't get mad at me. And at least then, I think that I would stand out more than the 5 other people that say, my book has 5 proven ways, 6 proven ways. But the one person that says, hey, he showed me a picture of all the different results, I think I'm going to stand out in your mind a little bit higher than the others. So if you do come back, I think I'll be better.
Yeah, I mean,
there you go.
This is your landing page right here, and
I can read it as if I'm speaking it.
Yeah, it's a creative angle. It's a creative angle. I mean, this is the power of copywriting and learning how to write copy, right? This is really the power of making sure that we don't rely too heavily on artificial intelligence to think that it can do all the writing for us. Because, you're right. When our biggest enemy right now in digital marketing and affiliate marketing and everything else, any other type of the core 4 business model, is looking like everybody else. That's the biggest, as you said a few moments ago, the problem, there's no saturation with the market. There's no saturation with this product. I mean, somebody asked me yesterday, actually, one of our team members asked me if we're going to be going into other languages. It's like, no, I mean, we haven't even scratched the English market. That would be a massive distraction and a total mistake for us to take our energy and start focusing somewhere else. So, what you're talking about here, man, is you're talking about the power of learning how to write copy and the power of being able to create something with your own fingertips that looks different than everybody else's. And this is some of the skills that we are looking to try to actually develop within all of you who are listening as well, because you're right. When you come to this landing page from your profile, and I got here right from your Instagram profile, it does look different. It is a unique angle. It does call out something that I'm thinking, which is I'm overwhelmed. There's a lot of different options out there. This is a skill that you've developed, right? The ability to come up with hooks and angles and write this copy out. Can you speak to the development of those skills a little bit to the people who are just right now thinking about, the money or the cost of education? Can you talk about what we're really trying to do, which is not the goal here, folks, is not to put money down for a course and then automatically it gives you a license to print money. This is called investing in yourself. What we're doing here is we're investing in ourselves to upgrade our skills, to do things that we did not know how to do before. And in turn, when we know how to do these things with these new skills, we just upgrade our ability to make more money. That's most of us, before we came to Legendary, it's been a long ass time since we actually invested in ourselves. We're good at investing in people around us, our boss, our wife or husband, our kids, our other family members that we caretake for, look out for, the whole country. If you're in the military, right? We're always looking out. But it's difficult to invest in self because we don't really put a high value on skills. We put a high value on jewelry. We put high value on cars and houses, but for some reason we don't put very high value on skills. But this copy, what you're talking about, is a result of you sitting down, learning this stuff, and now you've become able to not only do it, but also teach it. Speak to the skill development and the power of investing in yourself, if you would, for a minute.
And I want to make this very clear because it took me a little while to think about it too. And then I finally realized it. Affiliate marketing is not a skill. And look, this is my opinion, but I'm going to explain why. Affiliate marketing is a title. Affiliate marketing is a title when you have enough skills that you feel you can call yourself an affiliate marketer, right? And I kind of put carpentry as the same thing, right? Or handyman. A handyman or a carpenter doesn't have to have a specific checklist of skills before he can call himself that. But if I'm just really good at hammering nails, I'm not going to call myself a carpenter, right? But if I'm good at that, plus like 4 or 5 other things, all of a sudden I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm just a carpenter. I'm a handyman, right? That's affiliate marketing. So affiliate marketing isn't mastering skills, but it's becoming competent at funnel building. It's becoming competent at copywriting. It's becoming competent at creating content, right? And then you can get good at those skills and then call yourself an affiliate marketer if you want to. Call yourself a content creator. Call yourself a TikTok auditor. You get to wear a lot of hats when you get good at the same skills that I feel make a good affiliate marketer. You can call yourself a lot of different things with the same skills, just like a carpenter can call themselves a handyman, right? So if I go live, I'll tell you right now, if I go live and I'm going to talk about the 15-day challenge, guess what I don't talk about? The 15-day challenge.
Right.
I talk about day 1, skill 1. I go through and I say, hey, I'm not trying to talk about the whole enchilada. How about I just show that this thing is at least worth $7? And how can I show it's worth $7? Well, maybe I can show you that you can create a skill that's worth $7 at the very least. So day 1, we learn about this thing called funnel building. Cool. So I pretend I'm going to go through the 15-day challenge. Guys, I'm going to go through a 15-day challenge. I'm going to help with all the skepticism and stuff like that. So let's just open up day 1. Let's see what it talks about. Well, what the heck is a funnel build, right? So then all of a sudden I pull myself into what I wanted to go down, which is, what's a funnel? Well, here's the diagram and it explains it. But look, at the end of the day, how about we just say, like, we don't want to do anything else. We just want to focus on this thing called funnel building. We want to do a little bit more research. I'm going to show you that funnel building could create the rest of your life if you really want to, but is it worth $7? I don't know. Let's go to this little site called Fiverr, right? And let's go see how much a funnel builder charges. And let's see if we can get one for $7. Oh crap, we can't even get one for $7 because at the very least they're charging 10. You're welcome. You made $3 off that skill. Go, have fun. And then I look at the templates that they show and I say, look at that template. That is nothing compared to the template that I just have right now. And I learned that from $7. And that template makes me more than what this person's charging. And that template makes a lot of people more than what this person's charging. Yeah. So regardless if you don't want to even finish the challenge or if you don't want to do affiliate marketing, I just showed you a skill right now that almost every single company in the digital world holds in high demand. And if you can just do the bare minimum, you can make your $7 back or more. But if you decide to do more, let's look at these other packages they have. Because everyone has a basic package, a whatever package, and a premium package. Some people are charging $2,500, $3,000 for a 2-page funnel and like a 10 email sequence. And that lets me go into the next thing and be like, well, what's this 10 email sequence they're talking about? I don't know anything about building emails or whatever. Day 6 or whatever day is in the 15-day challenge. I go, wow, that would have been a really great skill. Oh, they teach it in the 15-day challenge. So even if you don't want to do this one skill, look at all these other copyright. I wonder where I'm going to learn that. Oh, day 8. Like I build the path because I practice before I go live. And I say, hey, but I need to make it feel like it's a genuine path that just happened in the moment. But I'm prepared. I have a business mindset, but it has to be a casual presentation. Because if you give me a business presentation, I hate you. You're going to say words that I don't like that you don't use in the real world. You have to have a business mindset with a casual presentation. So you better make it sound like we're just walking down the road and all of a sudden this beaten path goes to Hansel and Gretel, whatever, candy house.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
you have to make it be like, where did this come from?
I think the best people the best salespeople never ever make it feel like they're selling. The best marketers never make it feel like anything's being sold, right? And so I love that you bring that up because I think preparation is important, but professionalism doesn't look the same as it used to, right?
No.
Professionalism nowadays is way less about what you look like and way more just about your integrity.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And
Yeah.
the whole reason why affiliate marketing has such of a dark cloud over it isn't because it's not genuine or it's not legal. It's because the integrity of the masses is not there.
Exactly.
So if you can have integrity, if you could speak transparently, if you could be honest, you automatically set yourself apart from the crowd.
It's easy to succeed if you do all those things. It actually is. It actually is, Sean, isn't it? This is one of the things. This is one of the things that I try to tell people.
We did it. I got excited. You threw your hat. I threw my phone.
Hey, it actually is. It actually is. If you do these very simple things, which are, the things that you just listed out, which we all learned in 5th grade. I mean, honestly, just be transparent, be clear. And one of the best ways to be transparent, you don't even have to, those are actually one thing. Just be clear. This is exactly what I talked about with our team yesterday. Be clear in your communication because, and I'll even read you what I wrote. Be clear in your communication because people don't have to, they have too many choices nowadays. They don't have to, I said a couple of super practical tips on communication. I said, and just so you guys know that, like, we have an incredible community behind the scenes of just so many team members inside of Legendary that many of you may not know, and that's okay. But they're here. We've got 126 people inside of this channel, inside of our Legendary Slack channel. And I said, practice being more clear in your writing and also asking for clarity from people until you're crystal clear what they're talking about. It will do wonders. For example, what did you mean by that? Can you say more about that? I'm not clear what you're asking. Would you be more specific so I can be more helpful? Right? This applies also to being an affiliate marketer, right? It's like, don't assume you know what people mean. The power of just asking for clarity is before you write something or after you explain it, pretend that you were on the other side listening. Would it have been clear enough for you to answer your own question? If you're unsure, you can always ask the other person, did that make sense the way I explained it? And then I went on, which hits on our points that you were just bringing up. Communication is about mutual respect, asking for clarity and putting in extra effort into being more clear will always be appreciated because it's a sign of you respecting them in their time. And you're making it easy to interact with you because they don't have to ask or guess or ask endless follow-up questions to get informed. This is especially true in 2023 for sales. It's all about showing respect, being kind and clear, and making it easy to deal with you because the customer has too many options nowadays to work hard and be miserable to do that, to do business with you. If you get that, you win. If you don't, you stay frustrated and confused. It's easier to win than you think. Believe it, and be legendary. That was actually my, message yesterday to our business plan advisors, after our vision call. And to our point here about that it's easier to succeed than what we make it out to be. A lot of it is just showing mutual respect, asking yourself, would if I was listening to me, would I feel fully informed?
That's pretty much it. And you also have to be aware it's not even being fully informed, right? I mean, like, either people do too little or they do too much. And I talked about this too in Florida. I brought up an example where they talk about you on the thank you page. They either just say, hey, go watch this video by some guy named Dave, right? And they're like, well, who the fuck is Dave? I just spent like 2 days watching you, looking at you, reading your book, and then all of a sudden you're going to pass me off to some guy named Dave. Or they say too much about Dave, and they're like, listen to this guy. He's my savior, my mentor, my 6-figure, 7-figure, 9-figure, everything. He made the world. Like, it's just like, oh crap, okay. And for me,
holy shit, I'm not ready to meet Jesus yet. I don't want
exactly, right?
I'm not ready to go home yet. It's like, whoa, folks. Then they meet me and they're like, they're drastically disappointed. I don't even have long hair.
Yeah, and it's just simply like, hey, just give them what they need. That's it. Don't give them overly. Don't give them less. Give them what they need, because you know what's to be expected. You know what's about to come ahead. So ask yourself, if they read your thank you page right now and then they go to the thing that you want, are they going to be surprised by anything? And they shouldn't be surprised. They should not be surprised. So on my thank you page, I don't talk a lot about myself. I say a little bit. And then I say I found something. I don't even say what I found. I didn't say I found the Holy Grail. I just simply said I had issues. I needed to find something, and I found something. And that's it. That's all I share. I share it with people. You want
to make sure you get the click on the affiliate link, folks.
Right.
That's another thing why Sean isn't out there screaming Dave Sharpe or ClickFunnels or 15-day challenge or Russell Brunson or Tony Robbins or whatever else. Or even,
what I love?
Because
go ahead.
The person just goes and just, well, let me go look that up. Screw this guy, right? I mean, it's human nature to hear somebody talking. And if I can whisper to somebody in the crowd and go, is this guy full of shit? I will, So it's important to, I just wanted to emphasize that point. The reason why we do that is because on the landing page, we actually want to get the email opt-in. So we don't give away the farm, giving away all the details on the landing page, right? It's the landing page is about offering something, but also leaving curiosity. And then, as you say on that thank you page, is about telling a simple story so it makes sense to people, so they feel clear, and then preparing them for that next step, as you said, so there's no surprises.
And here's the thing too. Why do I have to talk about the training and hype it up when you are there to do that? Why do I have to talk about you and hype you up when you're there to do that? All I have to do is just tell you a little bit about myself, tell you I found the answer, and I just have to get you prepared to want to listen to some guy named Dave.
Totally.
That's it. I just want you to listen to some guy named Dave.
Yeah.
Right? So what I did was I literally just did it like a resume for you. I said, hey, if you want to know more about this, right, just take 2 minutes and listen to Dave Sharpe. I know, who the hell is Dave Sharpe? I know you're asking that. All right. So here's a little bit of reason why you should want to listen to him. Right. And then I just say Forbes, whatever, creator. I just do a bullet point of your 3 best attributes. Right. And then I leave the ball in their court and say, is a person that has that success not worth 2 minutes of your time? Because if I don't say anything about you, I'm certainly not as successful as you, right? And let's say like 90% of the people don't have the success yet. So if I don't even say anything about you, then I'm trying to go over here and say, I'm worth enough to get you to listen to Dave, right? And how am I supposed to do that if I don't have any success yet? So why would I not at least use you a little bit and prepare you and use your successes to get them to say, is listening to a person like that not worth 2 minutes for free? And it's the same thing as the Google thing. It's like, do you want to just go and try to find answers and all that crap? Do you not want to listen to some guy that has everything that you're trying to do? Like, why would you not want to?
Let me jump in here real quick, because what you're talking about is you're talking about like really using third-party credibility in a powerful way. And marketing at every step of the way, if you want to be effective, it's about really using third-party validation and credibility. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean that it's not just if first person, second person, third person, right? I'm speaking in the first person, second person, third person, right? So third person means somebody outside of you and I. If I'm trying to convince you of something, it's just me trying to convince you. That's the least powerful way to be persuasive. The most powerful way is to have that person convince you of what I'm saying. That's the most powerful way, because now I'm not selling me. I'm not selling, right? So effective marketing, and you'll see this done I always talk about the marketing shades, right? As you start listening to us long enough, you put on the marketing shades, you see the world in a totally different way now, right? And one of the things that you'll begin to see is exactly what Sean's talking about here, which is essentially saying, don't take my word for it, listen to this person, right? And that may be another successful client. That may be a person who just started, who's a success story. We have nearly 700 success stories interviews right here on this page, right here. So these are third-party credibility and validation that people listen to every day that helps them to say, okay, all these other people are saying it, so it must make sense. And as the affiliate, that really is your most powerful tool, is using both the credibility of the product creator, right? Whoever you're promoting or whatever it is that you're promoting, and all the bells and whistles and the Inc. 5000 stuff that I haven't even hung up here. It's just back here, stacked up with a bunch of other things here, but I do keep it here because then it's in the shot, it's in the camera shot. It's just not hung up. But for many of you who are wondering, well, gee, I don't have results. This is the answer to your number one question, what Sean's talking about right now, which is, what do I do if I don't have results? Well, you could ask that question in any niche. How do I enter into the baby sleeping niche without results? How do I enter into the dog training niche without a big history or story or proprietary expertise or strategy? How do I do that? Well, I simply find the product that I want to promote, and then I go and I find the stories that the product creator tells, and I also tell I find the testimonials of the other successful people that have used the product, and I become the communicator, the messenger of those stories. It's not got to be about me. It's not got to be, it helps. It helps if you can tell your own personal story, but every single day, copywriters are hired to write for products that they don't have a personal story about. And what that copywriter does when he comes in and he's hired to write a sales letter for that product is he does exactly what I just said. He interviews the product creator, whoever's the person who has created the product, gets all their story, all their history, whatever they have to tell and share. And then they say, tell me who your success stories are. Give me your testimonials. And then the copywriter will begin to share those. And it's such an easy strategy once you understand it. It takes so much of the pressure off of you to be the guru. And as a matter of fact, as an affiliate marketer, you don't want to be the guru. You don't want to be the expert all the time, unless you're selling your own coaching or stuff like that. But you don't want to be, because you want the product to be. The beauty of affiliate marketing is you're not doing the delivery of the coaching. You're not doing the delivery of the product. So the less you can be the guru, the less you can be the omnipotent, all-knowing expert, the more you can get started right away, start promoting any product you want right away by finding the stories and using third-party validation, just like Sean was just talking about. saying, listen to the product creator. He or she knows what they're talking about. Here's their credibility. Here's the things that have happened that they've achieved. And here's 700 stories of people, or here's 30 stories, or take a listen to this success story or testimonial from this lady who had her complete life changed. And you don't have to show 700. Many of you could tell one person's story. You could tell somebody else's story on your thank you page, and it would be better than you banging your head against the wall, trying to come up with something, pull something out of your butt, or not getting started at all because you think that you have to be a guru or an expert in order to promote a product. This is just such a big point, brother.
Yeah. And like, if you don't have results, well, let's just say this too. Even if you have results, guess what gets tiring to people? They don't want to hear about your results after a while. I'll say that right now. Like, no one cares if I made another $100,000. Maybe I'll say something when I make
Especially
$1 million.
not in 2023.
Once I make six figures, no one's going to be like, hey, congrats on that second 6 figures. And then it's going to be like, well, just stop rubbing it in, dude. But when I break $1 million, sure, I'll hit that milestone too. But at the end of the day, your results are only going to get you so far before people just get tired of it. You need to bring awareness. And the best thing that you can do is bring awareness to other people's successes or what other people are looking for. So if you don't want to talk about someone else's story, then once again, just like I talked about funnel building, right? How about you bring awareness to all the companies that are looking for affiliate programs? How about you bring awareness to all the large companies that use funnel building within their system, right? Or copywriting, or this or that. Half the battle is simply bringing awareness that these things exist because people didn't know it existed. But you're talking about affiliate marketing all the time. And that's why I tell people, if you want to be a great affiliate marketer, stop talking about affiliate marketing. Stop. Because you don't even know what you're talking about yet. So how about you just talk about all the great things that affiliate marketing can do, or the reasons why people want affiliate marketers? Or how about, like, it's just simply awareness. And it's going to be an evolutionary growth of the content that you're going to create. Because if you can get good at bringing awareness, then you can get better at bringing recommendations. If you can get good at recommendations, then people are going to go off your recommendations and you're going to make some commissions. Then you can make some content about making commissions. Then you can make some content about how the commissions change your life. And then you can make about a content about how your life has changed, and it all started from bringing awareness. You have to start on an evolutionary ladder, and the problem is everyone jumps in and tries to jump all the way to the end and say, well, I don't have commissions, so how do I do? Okay, cool. If you're a car salesman, you never sold a car. Do you say, well, I've never sold a car, so I guess can't do this? Everyone has to start somewhere. Totally. Everyone. So ask yourself, well, what's the first thing that I can do? If I don't have any stories, how about I get better at sharing someone else's story? Right? How about you just go find somebody that had a success? That's why I always tell people,
I mean, who's the person that you love watching? I mean, who's
you? No, I'm just kidding. You.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's like so many people were inspired by somebody, and it doesn't matter what product you're promoting. If you can absolutely find, you can actually absolutely find either an approach or a person to talk about. Even if you were going and promoting, like I said, a dog training course, there is a story on that page that you can that's powerful, that you can tell or you can reshare. In the case of Legendary, if you were brought here and all this is absolutely brand new to you, and you're like, I have no idea what to promote, I have no idea what to do, I think I'm going to start in the make money online niche, maybe I'll be an affiliate for Legendary and a couple of other software things like a lot of people do, then find another marketer within this community that you really look up to or who inspired you, and tell their story. I love that. I love that. And I want to end here because I need to leave. If you all want more of Sean, you need to come to the next mastermind. Okay? This guy's a mastermind attendant maniac. Before we end, what is your obsession with continuing to be at events and continuing to educate yourself now that you've already achieved some success? Where is this coming from? Can you say more about that for those who maybe don't see the value in attending events like that. What's the value in it from your perspective?
I'm addicted.
Now you're going to be speaking at this event.
I'm going to be speaking at this event.
Last event, you were there as a dang attendee and
Yep.
showed up and we're sitting there taking notes. I'd like you to speak,
Mhm.
obviously. Well, you'll speak from the speaking perspective after you've done it, but I want you to talk about what it's been like for you to be so obsessed about just learning and attending events, even if it's a little bit of a stretch for you.
Well, look, I'm addicted to helping others because look, once again, I'll say it again. My success has a finite amount of attention span when it comes to people. My success means nothing after a certain amount of posts. You just want to know that I succeeded, and what else can you give me? The success of others is what I'm addicted to because I can't just have success because I recommend good things. I need to show others having success off the things I recommend. And if I can help that, if I can learn more about that, if I can continuously be a part of that algorithm and not just say, well, I figured it out on my own. Good luck, stupid. No, I always have to be ahead of the person that I'm recommending stuff to, right? I never look at a person as my competition. I look at you as my billboard. Because if I recommended something and you're having success and I can be a part of that, do you not think I'm going to shout it from the mountaintops just like you are? Do you not think that I want to post about your story more than I want to post about my story? Because I absolutely do. I do. And that is the most funny thing about this sometimes as I'm in this industry more, and it's almost like the fitness industry. Like the fitness industry was supposed to be about helping all these other people, but within the fitness industry it was very toxic. And it was like, no, help me. I'm going to say I'm helping people, but help me. I want to help others in this industry because the more people that have success, the more I can say affiliate marketing works. And that just means that I'm smart. And that just means I'm good at what I recommend.
Yeah.
It makes no sense for me to have an overwhelming amount of people saying, I'm just not getting it. You didn't talk to me anymore. You recommended this thing and you promised me the sun and the moon, and now you don't talk to me. And it's not about that. That's why I go above and beyond. And look, I might burn myself out, but I'll be damned if I don't burn myself out trying to help others. I will figure it out along the way. All right. If I got to hire a crew or a team or employees or whatever, I'll do it. But it's always going to be geared towards making sure I help others. So I attend these things because, yes, the speakers are amazing, but the attendees are even better because there's only so much time that I can have listening to a person, and there's an infinite amount of time that I can have conversations with a person. I spent most of my time sitting and talking to 5, 10, 15 people during those breaks than I would go trying to talk to speakers or even you. I didn't even try talking to you until the very, very end when no one was around. I went around and just started having conversations with everyone because I wanted to see do you know all the walks of life that go off at the event? I'm sure you do. You have kids that are 19 that are trying to do this, trying to have the same message as a 35-year-old stay-at-home mom. Like they don't know what they're doing yet. Great. I get to try to pick their brain just like they get to try to pick my brain. And I have to remember that no matter what, I am never going, even if I am the person talking to the crowd, I have to remember I am simply the person in the crowd. And I just hear a little bit better. So I just relay what I hear. And I make sure everyone can sit at the table. So that's why I go to these events. The speakers are amazing. I go to the events because damn, the people are awesome. And there's so many of them. Yeah. And the energy that you get from those individuals, it can power you through your darkest month, your darkest moments, right? Like if you're down, the energy that you get from those people can power you through another month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
your audience,
I'm telling you,
I mean, these people are become more than just a number, right? I mean, the beauty of the business that we're in is that we actually, as we do here at Legendary, want to talk to our customers. You know, want to you know, I mean, want to interact with them. There's no in at Legendary in particular. There's no you know, there's no
automated system.
Well, there's no velvet ropes either. You know what I mean? It's like you know, we're really all just the same exact person. Just some of us are a little bit further along than others. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and we're all just like, when we get to events, we actually are able to see that. And one of the most powerful things as well for me, I'll say this and then we'll wrap, is that, just seeing that people are real human, real humans, that they're not
Yeah.
superhumans, that they man, that person's got pants on just like me, they must have put them on the same way this morning, and that's a cool thing, because we sort of idolize and put people on a pedestal when we look at them on a screen. It's kind of like watching somebody on TV. We're sort of programmed to idolize people that we watch on screens, and then we see them and meet them in person. It's like, wow, this person's like really a real human being. It's kind of like, it reminds you that all the rules in life were created by somebody that was no smarter, or that is no smarter than you are. It's kind of like one of those reminders, it's like empowering, because you're looking at a fellow human being that accomplished something that has no more potential than you do. They may be exercising that potential differently, right? In that moment, but and that's the cool thing I love about the events, is at the end, is watching people leave with such different levels of confidence and excitement than when they came. You and notice that, pay attention to that more this time, of like the energy in the room and like how unsure people are. And then by the time Sunday, when people leave, they're like, man, I was way overcomplicating this, or I was way in my head about this. And now I feel much more free and excited to go back and do it. And I think a lot of people are getting this feeling right here on this live with you today. And I'm excited for them to experience you in person and learn from you in person, because I think they'll walk away with the same empowering feeling they're having on this live today. You'll walk away from that times 10 in person in June, dude. So I cannot wait, man. Bro, I'm really happy for you, happy for your family, proud of you, man. And it's really like, I see you following through and just really putting in the work. And it's like you're writing a really cool story, man. You're writing a really cool story for yourself, and you should be proud of it, brother. I know that sometimes for guys like you, and I think guys like me, probably a lot of us, very critical of ourselves, very hard on ourselves, right? Don't take a whole lot of time to really stop and smell the flowers. For us, we do for others, right? But for us to celebrate what we've done, what we've accomplished, you owe that to yourself, brother. You owe that to yourself. Yeah. Keep up the great work, man. All right. Be legendary, brother. And I'll see you in June, and we'll send everybody to connect and follow you on Instagram.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, brother. Take care, Sean. See you later, man.
Take care.
All right, my friends. Sean Sarantos, right there. You guys have it here live on Tuesday, April 4th, which also happens to be, my friends, it also happens to be, yes, it's true, my wedding anniversary. Today, 4/4/15, 8 years married to my beautiful bride, my wonderful baby, sweetest of all of the sweet angels in the world, my wife, Erin. And so she's actually in the other room. She can hear me right now, boastfully, celebrating our anniversary here. So I'm going to go and give her a big old smooch, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow for another episode. Actually, Joanne will be with you tomorrow, and she'll be hosting as it's Wednesday, but I'll be back on Thursday for another episode. Get out of here. Peace.